So I'm going to do something pretty fun for you today. I was out shopping with my wife last week and she had us go by Michael's. Now, if you're not from the US or you're not familiar with Michael's, it's just a big craft store. And oftentimes, fly tyers, we can find some pretty good stuff in there to use in our flies. So this past trip, I found several packs of feathers that I can use. All these were about $2 each. This one's just Guinea hen, dyed all kinds of crazy colors, red, green, blues, yellows, pinks. That's not the bag it came in. It came in a cheap cellophane bag. I'll put it in a Ziploc bag just to make it last a little longer. This one's furnace, so natural color furnace. Lots of flies we can make with that one. And this pack, just a random pack. Got a little bit of marabou in here, blue and purple, yellow goose spots, lots more Guinea. Also about $2. Now one other thing, get this, black goose biots. This pack, $2.49. More black goose biots than you could use in a lifetime. And then one other thing I did get this time, turkey feathers. Randomly dyed bright colored turkey feathers. And this one was actually on clearance, 74 cents for these crazy turkey feathers. So that's what I'm going to do for you today. One of the most fun things we can do as fly tyers, just sit around on the bench, play around, try to come up with some pattern, take it out in the water and see if it'll work for you. So I came up with a little bead head nymph today, and I'm using glass beads also from the thrift store. I didn't get these this time, bought this a couple of years ago, and I tie a lot of flies with glass beads, but can't even tell, I haven't even made a dent in this thing. There's just like a million of them. So today's pattern, just a simple little fuzzy nymph, fun to tie, pretty easy. I think it's going to work. I can't wait to get out there and give it a shot. Oh yeah, one other thing before we get into the tie, I just did the drawing from last week's video for the merchandise giveaway, so congratulations to Garrison H. Garrison, just send me an email. I'll get the package in the mail to you. So there it is in the vise, just a simple little fuzzy nymph out of craft store materials. Now if I didn't mention this in the intro, I should have. You could tie 100 of these for about $4. Well, not counting the hooks. Hooks are a little more expensive than that. And speaking of hooks, this is a size 12. It's actually a wide gap dry fly hook. I don't mind tying nymphs on dry fly hooks. Don't usually go the other way around. I don't use heavy hooks with any dry flies, but you know, you can certainly tie nymphs and wet flies with these light wire dry fly hooks. But I am going to weight it. This is a 015 lead-free wraps. Go ahead and put about 8 or 9 wraps there. And I'm going to use black thread, so just put a little dam behind the weight, take a few wraps over it, and then bring it back to the start of the bend. Now one of these Guinea feathers I found, see this? In these, packages. This is a Guinea, and it's dyed a little bit yellow, kind of olive. I'm not going to use the fine tips, I'm going to use the fluff toward the base. And just a pretty small little tuft right here going to be the tail. So let's catch this in however long you want it. We're going to have a little fluff up front probably to trim off. Okay, I think that tail is plenty big enough. Now for the main body, this is one strand of some 4-strand yarn. And kind of an olive color, I guess. A little bit something green, maybe. We'll catch this in all the way back here. And I got a little bit up front. I should have caught it in a little farther back, but oh well, we'll snip it. And one of those feathers in the packages was ostrich. So I'm going to take one strand of this ostrich herl. Kind of cool stuff. This one is also just happened to be yellow. I mean, you never really know what you're going to get in these packs, but I think this one will work pretty neat with this fly. Okay, now I'm going to wrap this yarn and I'm going to try to spin it so it lays a little bit flat. I'm not trying to build up a bunch of bulk, and that rib is what's going to give us a little bit of fuzz. I mean, this will too, but go ahead and just bring this all the way up a little bit behind the bead. And now let's wrap this herl up kind of like a rib. I think maybe 4 wraps will work on this size hook. Now you could probably just finish that off right there. I think that's a pretty neat looking fly as is. But since we have that feather out, I'm just going to put another little tuft of it up here behind the bead. And you know, this could be considered a wing, I guess, or legs, or generally just something a little bit fuzzy that's going to give this guy more life in the water. So enough wraps right there to secure this, and now we'll snip off this fuzz up front. And a couple extra wraps and we'll whip finish it. So there we go, a little no-name fuzzy nymph with craft store materials. But I can see this thing doing pretty well. Kind of fun to tie. So that's it, my friends. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.